So I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I was exposed to both art and music at a very early age. My mother was a director of a school that every Saturday turned into an art school. So it was a given. We had to go on Saturdays, and of course was the best day of school for me, because they had several stations, so you can move from carpentry to puppet making to print making to painting and I think that kind of search stayed with me in the kind of art I do today, because I liked always to be refreshing and always searching new media. And I also studied music and took some art classes in Brazil, and then I moved to Belgium to study at the Royal Conservatoire, classical music, flute, and I also at that time was taking night classes at the Art Academy.
And
I actually was talking to a friend of mine the other day, like when we were little young, we did some sort of silk screen with a cutting technique. You cut the stems. That was probably before they had this more advanced technique, but that was eons ago now. This was definitely a first time. I love it. As I said, I think it's part of my artistic vision to always be exploring new media and learning as I go. I often don't like to go too deep in the theory of the technique, because for me it loses the freshness. So this week was very fresh. I felt back like a young child experimenting and blah blah blah, and trying to in the same time put together in my brain how this will work if I do that very quick. So it's great. I'm all for it. Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm influenced not just by artists, but by everything. Obviously, I have an interest in biology, which I study as well. So biology books influence me, music influenced me. A lot of my work, when I build up my image, I emulate how a composer would go about. So I have an idea of an element that I repeat, or make it bigger, make it smaller, go reverse, or tension and resolution. So there's a lot of the background of music kicks in at that point, so that's an influence. As far as an artist in specific, Cy Tomlik, that just passed away, I love his work, and I think there is some calligraphic elements there that hit in my way of working out. Well, everything I work is very intuitive. It's kind of a build-up, and the way I work already is layering, so the screen print pretty much fit in the way I've been working so far. It's just you have to rethink color, because in screen print you have to think black will become color, even a super transparent. That for me was the most difficult leap, but I just build layers. I have a more or less an idea, and again, what I just explained before, I use music, counterpoint, kind of and biological elements. So I combine the two things that were in my study background into creating an image. I just finished a installation in Dallas, and I'm about to build a new one in Denver, in the Center for Visual Arts. I don't know the name of the street, but pretty much what I do is to create a 3D version of my monoprints. So all these elements that are already layering and have an illusion of 3D, I make them really happen in 3D, in a very augmented sense. So it's really large objects, and I mix everything you can imagine in the map, rods of acrylic and neon lights and ceramic and cement and you name it. So that's my next project. And usually the galleries or museums that commission, invite me to come, they like to show, you know, a room with an installation, and beside that the monoprints to juxtapose, show the dialogue, you know, what happened going from one to another. And I encourage that. I think it's great, because for me it's perfect. So when people come and start asking me, so how did you get to that? So I can easily explain. It's great.